So, what are you going to do this week to guarantee yourself profit? And more importantly, are you duplicating that every single week? Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your business. As long as you're following the channel here and you join us every single Tuesday, you're learning what you need to do to grow your business effectively. How do you sell real estate when nobody's wanting to buy and nobody's wanting to sell? Well, it might be the clients you're working with. We talked about last week, maybe you should call a title company to see just how busy they are. Whatever title company you've worked with, as a matter of fact, maybe call two or three of them and ask them, are you guys closing any deals? And where are all those deals coming from? Because possibly the way you're marketing yourself, you're not seeing many of them. One of the big problems we see is an awful lot of agents that have depended on their sphere of influence for a long time. Most of the business they got was through word of mouth or people that already knew them, and they actually looked at that as some kind of a pride symbol, like, 90% of my business comes from past clients, and then you're struggling. Not only were you struggling then, barely closing enough business to get by, some months better than others, but right now, that's pretty much dried up. You are not getting as many deals as you were. They're kind of few and far between. So let's talk about today what you need to do to get more people into your sphere. One of the big things that we've always focused on is how do you get that sphere of influence, that group, that universe, I call it, everybody that knows you, likes you, and trusts you. How do you get more people to follow you, to watch you, to read you, to listen to you? How do you get more people to know who you are, what it is that you do, and then most importantly, trust you to be their real estate advisor when that time comes? I can't tell you how many agents I'd say, I understand you're saying you want to be successful here, but here's the problem. I Googled you and you look like a regular commodity agent. Have you Googled yourself before? Do you see like your company's free website or some website you have, and then basically everything else is Zillow and Realtor.com and all these others that are trying to swipe your information because they loaded every licensee's name and they are getting that information? Do you really look like an industry professional? If somebody does check you out, what's the call to action that they're seeing to get more information from you, to learn more about you? Does it send them over to your YouTube channel where they can binge watch some of the educational videos you put together? Are you showing the 5 things they should look for in a real estate agent? Are you showing why you're different than a commodity realtor or someone that they've worked with in the past or their brother who's a licensed agent? What are the things that you're doing here to really get attention and cultivate that attention into a client so you have more people following you? The young folks term today is how many followers do you have? That's quite literally people that know you, like you, and trust you, at least have an interest in you. And if the people that know you, like you, and trust you happens to be the 117 people that you mail your newsletter to every month, how do you get it to 150? How do you get it to 200? How do you get it to 500 and then 1,000? Can you do that on Facebook? Can you do that on YouTube? Can you do that through direct mail? Can you do that through your text message broadcast sequence? What type of email sequence are you utilizing? Is that going out in an automated fashion? Is it very helpful and educational and has a strong call to action? What type of system are you actually using as a real estate agent? Because for an awful lot of agents, they're licensed, but they're not practicing. They're a licensed agent, but they don't have a real estate business. What do I mean by that? If you step out today, does that business still run without you? Even if you had somebody else step in to do it, is it going to run without you? Or is it solely dependent on you to do everything you can every single day? And so much you can't take 2 days off. You feel guilty taking a vacation or even 1 day away from the office. You feel very guilty about that because it depends solely on brute force from you as a real estate agent, which is the number one sign that you don't really have a business. You have a job. You have a real estate license and you're trying to close business through brute force. Always being available. Got to answer the phone. Got to do that. Got to hold together whatever I can hold together because you're in survival mode nearly 90% of your life. The best thing for you to do is have automated sequences, have great campaigns that are going out, have really good offers so that the people reply to you. And then most importantly, you have a long tail on all of your marketing. You've heard me say in a lot of our calls before, if you've been in our inner circle coaching calls, you've heard us talk about that longer the tail is, the more the lion gets to eat. right? The reason for that is it's easy to get leads. Hell, you could buy leads if you want. If you want to go give thousands of dollars to Zillow or Realtor.com, it's the dumbest thing you can do, but it's a better bet than not doing anything. It's a better bet than not generating your own business. Okay, let them go do Google searches and stuff to find the leads for you then. But once you get that lead, what happens after that? Are you calling them to see if they need a realtor? How's that working? How's that worked your entire real estate career? One of every 70, you happen to hit them at the right time? Maybe that's what the issue is. Why are you calling them in the first place? The phone is the least effective communication device. It's effective. It's the least effective communication device because it's unwanted and unwelcome. How do you feel when salespeople call you? Even salespeople that you've already met with and they call you back and they're just following up with you. How does that make you feel? Are you excited? Oh, I'm so glad you called me. I forgot. I was going to call you. No, that's not how it works. You will call them when you're ready. You know what would be better? If they sent you helpful information, if they sent you educational data, if they sent you secret access, priority access to anything that's out there. What if you are helpful and educational rather than being pesky? See, one of the reasons you don't follow up with people, I want you to think about this. You realize you should have a better follow-up campaign, but you don't want to seem overbearing. You don't want to seem pesky. That's the reason you don't do it. It has nothing to do with you don't have time. What the hell are you doing? You're not making money. So whatever you're doing, it's charity work. It's not that you don't have time. It's damn sure not that you're too busy. I can't tell you how many people talk about, oh, my life is such disarray. I'm so busy. What are you talking? The most successful people in the world run 27 businesses. You can't run one that's closing 3 transactions a month? Some are doing less than that. What you need to do is have a real business, have a longer tail, and know that when you're following up with someone, it's to help them, not to help you. Then you won't feel guilty. It's to give them more data, more helpful info where they're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. That's so much better than you saying, can I get a commission? Are you guys ready to make a move? Are you ready to write an offer? Can I show you some more homes? All of the crap you're doing, that's the reason you don't follow up, because you know it's unwanted and unwelcome. And subconsciously, we realize we are being a little too pesky, and that's not the type of person we want to be. Okay, well, what if you turn into a teacher? What if you become a real estate advisor? What if you just do that? What if you decide you're going to be a real estate advisor where you're truly advising them? Here's 5 things you got to remember if you're going to buy a house. Here's 7 things you need to know if you're going to be selling. Here's the 3 things you have to do at least 30 days before you list your home for sale. Here's the 12 things you have to look for in a real estate agent. Just do it by numbers if you need to, but have some sort of data to educate them, which will naturally cause them to lean into you. If they will lean into you, you never have to ask for the business. They will chase you. They will want to work with you because you are their trusted advisor. Look at all of the agents that I coach with Greg Luther Inner Circle Coaching. When was the last time you heard me say, I want you to sign up for this? I'd love for you to, if you know what's right for you and if you're truly ready to make money. But you don't see me calling anybody. I have never in my life ever called somebody, emailed, hey, are you ready to do this? Do you want to do that? No, I'm good. I'll keep providing all of the helpful information until you're ready to actually get serious about your business. What if you do the same with buyers? You do the same with sellers. You don't have to seem pesky or overbearing or trying to beg them to do what's in their best interest or whatever. If you fix lead generation, you got enough clients. You don't have to chase those that aren't motivated. You think I'm going to chase somebody to help their business? I help agents make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They walk across our stage when they have a net worth of over $1 million. What, you want me to chase those that don't believe in themselves? Probably a bad idea. How about I just help everybody and they're ready when they're ready? What if you do that with 500 leads that you have? What if over on YouTube you can get 650 followers, and those 650 followers, you just pour into them. You just give them tons of helpful info and education, and then when they're ready, they seek you out. They know how to type in a message or a comment here. They know how to Google you and find a website for you or a phone number for you. You're not going to find a phone number for me. We do not have salespeople, and we don't take incoming calls because my business works. Try to reach me. We don't have a secretary that answers phone calls because that's not how we choose to do business. You know why? Because most people don't like to do business that way. We can do a much more effective job with lots of other communication devices. But you know what real estate agents do? We've been licensed for a long time. We know how it used to work. So we're thinking, well, if that buyer's serious, he would call me. Maybe he just doesn't do business that way. He has a phone, but he uses it for everything except phone calls. That's the only thing he doesn't use the phone for. And you want him to call, well, if they're serious, they'll talk on the phone. Really? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of deals being done without one phone call ever happening, including me personally buying and selling multiple properties every single month. Me as the buyer and me as the seller. Find an agent that says I ever talked to him. I never talked to him once on the phone when we were buying a house. I never talked to him once on the phone when we were selling the house. I didn't talk to the title company. I didn't talk to the lender. I didn't talk to the notary. I didn't talk to anybody. I said, look, if we're doing business, we're doing it without the phone. And every single time, you'll see them all over the place. They'll comment on my videos and in our coaching calls. All of our inner circle members, where I'm buying homes and selling homes with them. I'm spending millions of dollars over and over and over, rotating that money. Never once have they had a phone call with me. So if that's the way some people prefer to do business, what if I were your lead and you're like, well, if this Greg Luther guy were serious, he would take my call. Well, if he were serious, he would have a phone call with, I'm not working with someone if they don't have okay, that's your choice. It's ignorant because it's the way we used to do business. That's like saying, well, if you're not willing to do the 3-part carbonless copy as I handwrite the contracts, then I'm not willing to do. If you're not willing to send me a thermal fax, why are you trying to do it the way it used to work? Communication has changed drastically over the years. So your first problem is to look at your offer, Google yourself, look at your offer and decide, is this valuable? Is this intriguing? Is it interesting? Is there a way for them to get info from me without having a phone call? Then, once you get that lead, what does my long tail follow-up look like? How strong is that long tail follow-up? Do I have multiple media? Text message, email, direct mail. Well, Greg, I only have their phone number. Use Forewarn, you have their address. Well, Greg, I only have their address. Use any skip tracing company, you have their phone number, you have their email, you have their Facebook page. Like, put a little effort into this. You're about to get $15,000. Can you Google it? Can you go to whitepages.com and maybe you get lucky for free? It's 15 grand. Maybe you actually have to put forth effort, or you can get on a webinar about how to use AI. The real intelligence isn't working for you anymore, so you want to start using artificial intelligence, and maybe that will fix your business because you can't. Maybe you'll hire a computer that's going to make the world better for you, even though we sold 1,000% of every single home before AI existed. And now that AI exists, there's an awful lot of agents spending an awful lot of money and they ain't making shit. If it works that well, you'd be a billionaire by now. Maybe we should work on your real intelligence. Maybe we should work on our offer. Maybe we should stop having other people try to, or systems or computers trying to write our copy, trying to convert our leads, trying to do all of this AI voiceover bullshit. Maybe we need to fix you. Stop looking for the grass is greener approach. Stop looking for that shiny object that, oh my gosh, that's going to save me what? And let you stay dumb, let you stay stupid in what you're doing. That's not going to help your business. You have to fix you. You have to raise your own level of knowledge, of skill sets, so you can do a great job and put yourself in a category of one. The advantage you have is your competition is not really that tough. It's not. Never overestimate your competition. They don't call their freaking leads back. Have you ever talked to a buyer before and they're like, we've called 9 agents. You're the first one that's ever even called us back. That's your competition. They don't even show up for themselves. You got to be that much better to be really freaking good. So if you get a real system together where you can kind of quarterback this thing and say, okay, if somebody Googled me, is there anything here that I can capture their data? I can get some kind of information from them, but more importantly, give them information so they get hooked on me. What's the hook? What's the catch? So I can grab them. So they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I want to see part 2. Oh my gosh, this is great. I got to go check out the YouTube page. And so many agents get in their head about that. Oh, I don't want to do that because I look fat on camera. No, you're just freaking fat. You're seeing yourself. You're seeing the same shit they're going to see when you knock on the door. When they open the door, your fat ass is going to be standing there. So what you need to do is, instead of saying, oh, I look old and fat, let's be old and fat and rich. That's a much better move. Let's go ahead and do that, because that's what you're going to look like anyway. So how about if we don't let that stand in the way? How many extremely hot, late 20s, gorgeous blonde realtors do you see that get 78 billion followers and don't sell houses? Come on, that's not what works. Your knowledge base, your experience, your education, your being a leader and showing them how this works. You know how to handle a transaction. Why don't you show them that? Why don't you show them how good you are at what you do? Because right now, you're not fighting the competition. You're not fighting a 27-year-old girl that's got 1 million followers. You're not doing that. What you're fighting is obscurity. Nobody knows who you are or what you offer, because head to head, you are going to win that thing. Interview that person and interview you. You will win every time. As a matter of fact, when you get in front of these people, you do get the business because they see how good you are. So let's do that more often. Let's build our universe, the people that know you, like you, and trust you. Let's build that following, online or offline, as big as we possibly can. If I don't care what the number is, if you have 73 people right now, or if you have 1,140, how do we double it in 30 days? And then start pouring great info into them. As an Inner Circle coaching member, we give you that print newsletter that you can print off, all customized with your name, your info, your city, all of that. You can send that out to all of those people. We give you all of the tools you need, your agent selection guide, your menu of services, all of the shock and awe package that we're giving everybody. You can utilize that as an Inner Circle member to escalate yourself, your person as an agent in their mind. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I go. I go much, much higher because they look at me as an industry professional. If you're putting that stuff out, if you're not, stop saying the competition. Greg, there's 10,000. If 9,000 of them left, they still ain't calling you. The competition's you're not even on the field of play. You're watching the game. You're checking the MLS for updates every day so you're up to date on the market. So you know what's going on with inventory. What? For who? So you're a really smart agent that doesn't have clients? You are not even on the field of play. You think the 10,000 agents in your market area is the problem? Like if 9,000 of them weren't there, they would be calling you on all of this marketing that you're doing, right? The competition's not the problem. You're competing with you. You're competing with obscurity. Whoever gets the most attention is going to win. It's that simple. What do you mean you can't afford it? Okay, stay broke. You can't afford shit if you're not marketing. You can't afford food. You won't be able to afford a car payment or rent if you're not fixing your income problem. Your problem is not expenses. Your problem is income. If you fix that, you don't have any issues anymore. So the worst thing you could do is sit there and say, well, I've always made money from my 117 people. 90% of my business comes from my sphere of influence. Well, it ain't now. That's not the market you're in, so you better fix that sphere of influence. If you go that approach, if you want all of your business to come from sphere of influence, would it be good? Would you make money if you could get it to 2,000 people? Okay, let's just do that. I can't make enough money off of the 117 that I have, but I will make enough money off of 2,000. Doing it the way I've always done it. I just got to get more people to know me. It's not going out to the bars or the restaurants and kissing babies and shaking hands and going to social events and going to a charity function and trying to pass out business cards and all that shit. Not anymore. I'm getting followers right now. Right now, somebody is going to see this video and say, holy shit, this guy speaks the truth and I need to grow my real estate business. I'm going to follow and I'm going to ring the bell so I know the next time he posts a video, because this is what I need to get out of my own head and to start making money. What if you do the same thing for all the buyers that have been dragging their feet? What if you do the same thing for all the sellers that are like, I'm staying in 3% until it goes back to 3%. I'm never selling again. Dude, here is a prehistoric dinosaur, an alligator. He's 117 years old. He saw it one time. How long are you going to live? He saw it one time. It happened, that 2.75 that you got. You got that mortgage rate during a worldwide pandemic where it was illegal to go outside. And if you weren't in a state where real estate agents were essential, it was illegal to show a house. That's when you got 2.7. You waiting on that again? Interest rates are high. Maybe you ought to educate your clients on this. Maybe you've got CNN and Fox News educating them instead of you educating them. Let's talk about reality here. And if you become that voice of reason, you will get people to like you. You will get people to have interest in you. You also get people to hate you. I hope that doesn't bother you. Like, let me tell you, if you want to be the president of the United States, you are not going to be able to be the president of the United States unless you can get 50% of the world to hate you. That's how it works. Not the world, but the United States. That's how it's worked all the way since George Washington. Pick one. Anyone you want. You can't become successful. You can't become the president unless you can get 50% of the country to hate you. So when you're putting videos out, you don't give a damn about what 50% of them say. You give a damn about what 50% that are interested in you, that want to do business from you, that know you, like you, and trust you, and want to learn more from you. Those are the people you care about, the people that are going to do business with you, that you can help their family with their buying and selling needs. You care what other agents think about? Why? They're never using you. They're never referring anybody to you. The agents in your marketplace are your competition, not your fan club. I don't give a damn what they think. I care about helping my current people. That's where you need to be yourself. So here's what I want you to do for today's homework. I want you to go to Google and just type in your name. I want you to see what comes up. Look at the first three. When was the last time you went to the second page on Google from a search, by the way? So look at the first three things and tell me how much good information is there where if I saw it at 1 o'clock in the morning because I was intrigued by you, I would start binging. I would start binge watching, binge reading, checking out testimonials, reviews, videos, educational stuff, downloading stuff, just falling in love with everything you offer as a real estate agent right there in your local marketplace. Am I going to find that? Or is your name going to be used for the competitors, Zillow, Realtor.com, for them to swipe that lead and sell it to somebody else? If you do that homework right now, it takes you 10 seconds. If you do that homework right when we're done with today's morning meeting, if you do that, you just found your problem. And now you know what to fix. That's what you need to fix. We're going to continue talking about this. I've got some webinars coming up as well. Greg's monthly training. We got a crazy good training coming up. It's about an hour and a half long. Greg'sMonthlyTraining.com. You'll see a great video that we're going to be doing there. We actually do one every month, but this one is going to be phenomenal. And how you build that long tail. Build a big list first. Your universe needs to grow, but then have a long tail on it as well. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Share this with a friend. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.